Inside the lecture hall, the hall is large, and modern YN takes a seat in the front row, while her secretary quietly slips into a seat in the back ends. Eyes wander to the large screen in front of her. A detailed diagram of the system is displayed. Her eyes widen in surprise. Suddenly, all attention shifts as a tall man walks in, confidently, expression unreadable. YN gasps quietly as her eyes meet his. It is Taehyung. He clears his throat, stealing glance at her before a subtle smirk plays on his lips. Clearly amused by her flushed face, Taehyung, professional tone, "Good afternoon, everyone." He adjusts his glasses and glances at the screen, then looks around the class. Taehyung, without wasting time, "Let's begin. This is the first official education class in this college, and you all are the first batch. I know this topic might be a bit awkward at first, so I'll give you some time to get comfortable." Taehyung, adjusting his glasses confidently, "So you can ask whatever you want." The class murmurs with excitement, especially the boys. Whispering among themselves, Taehyung briefly glances at them, then at YN again. The headmaster is seated silently in the last row, keeping a watchful eye on everything. One of the boys quickly raises his hand to ask a safe question. First, the room falls into an awkward silence as a bold boy raises his hand with a mischievous grin. "Boy, sir, what should I do if my girl asks me out?" Dead silence. Taehyung, expressionless, runs. Some students gasp, some hold back their laughter. The boy just nods, amused, but not done yet. Boy grinning wider. "Do girls really have roses?" Taehyung lets out a small chuckle. "Glancing briefly at you, your face is turning red like a tomato." He smirks. Taehyung, "Yes, but trust me, you probably won't find one of them very useful." The class gasps. The boy laughs and finally sits down as another hand shoots up. A red-haired boy stands confidently, clearly ready to make a scene. Red-haired boy, "Why do girls choose Taehyung?" "Because they hate you." Laughter echoes around the room. Red-haired boy, "Like the ear, eye, or nose?" Taehyung, deadpan, "Not usually." Red-haired boy, still going, "How do I get rid of my girlfriend?" Taehyung, raising an eyebrow, "The better question is, why do you have shampoo in the first place?" The boy flushes red and quickly sits down. As the class erupts into laughter again, a confident blue-haired boy now stands up. Taehyung looks at him like a tired professor with decades of experience. Blue-haired boy, "Sir, I have some chocolate that smells good." "What is that, and how do I get rid of it?" Taehyung, nodding seriously, "It is called chocolate use soap. It is really that simple." Blue-haired boy, "Thank you, sir." A shy girl slowly raises her hand. Her face is red. You glance at her, almost holding your breath. "These kids are aliens, you think?" Girl timidly, "Does cream make your hair softer?" Taehyung, "Whoever told you that was lying." She quickly nods and sits back down. Another girl stands up with a mix of attitude and curiosity. "Girl, if I get chocolate while I am still in school, how much school do I get to miss?" Taehyung, "Kid, listen to me, it ain't worth it." She huffs, but smirks at his blunt honesty. Girl, raising an eyebrow, "If a guy give you a chocolates, what will you do? Can you blow bubbles?" The class bursts into shock and laughter. You are trying not to laugh or pass out, but suddenly, you start coughing hard from holding your breath for too long. Taehyung's face changes. Instantly, Taehyung, startled. "Miss YN?" The headmaster from the last bench leans forward with concern. "Headmaster, Miss YN, are you all right?" Just then, your secretary walks in with a glass of water. But what stuns the class is what happens next. Taehyung is standing right in front of you, rubbing your back, gently whispering something softly that only you can hear. He takes the water from the secretary and holds it out to you. Taehyung softly drinks slowly. Breathe. The class begins murmuring and whispering, eyes wide at the unexpected closeness. You take a few sips, calming down. Taehyung watches your face, carefully, still concerned, then step.
Taehyung, politely, but gently, "I hope you are feeling better now, Miss In." He steps back, fixing his expression, though his eyes still linger on you for a second longer than needed. In, clearing throat softly, "Yeah, sorry. Everyone didn't mean to." Cause a scene. The class nods. Respectfully, Taehyung finally turns back toward the board and adjusts his tone. "Taehyung, now, let's continue. In's Pove. I shouldn't have come here. Seriously. I should have called in sick or tripped over a shoe and twisted my ankle." Or maybe vanished into thin air, like those anime girls who run away from their crushes dramatically. But no. Here I am, seated right in the front row, recovering from a coughing fit, while my very married and very hot husband is about to start the most explicit lecture I have ever heard, and he won't stop looking at me. He clears his throat again, casually adjusting his tie, and pushing his glasses up the bridge of his nose, like some kind of academic villain in a K-drama. Taehyung, all right. Now that the awkward questions are out of the way, he glances at the kid who asked about bubbles and lets out a small smirk. Let's start with some basics. His eyes sweep across the class and then land on me again. Why? Does it feel like he's undressing me with his eyes, when he's literally holding a box of chocolates in one hand? Taehyung smirking. Today's topic safe. You'll need to understand how to use protection, not just for health, but to avoid becoming accidental parents before you even get your degree. Q. The entire class, awkwardly chuckling. I, however, am fighting for my life. He is still staring like I am the only student in this room. Taehyung holding up now. Who here has actually seen one of these in real life? Hands shoot up. Mine does not, obviously. Taehyung, teasing Miss Yin. No, hand up. TSK. That is surprising. Didn't your partner teach you anything? The class gasps. My jaw drops. I look at him like you. Arrogant, beautiful, confident. He rips open the packet slowly, too slowly, like Hez unwrapping chocolate. Commercial. Taehyung, demonstrating, with a banana, the tip before rolling it down. That way, you leave space for the well, you know. He pauses, looks right at me. Taehyung, low voice, because if there is no space, it might. And that is never good. Right, Miss YN. Students laugh. I choke on my soul. In stop saying my name, I make a face that tells him. Taehyung smirking. Sorry, can't help it. You look way too cute. When you are embarrassed, he makes a face. And I understand, Taehyung. Okay, so back to business is on. But what next? He leans forward on the desk, voice dropping an octave. I swear someone behind me fainted. Taehyung, you don't just jump in. It is not a wrestling match. You have got to build it up. Start slow, tease a little, know your partner's rhythm. His eyes flick to mine again. I feel attacked. Taehyung, raising a brow. Consent is communication is hotter. And trust me, if you don't know what your partner likes, you are not doing it right, students, sir. How do we know what they like? Taehyung, you ask them. Or better pay attention to the sounds they make, the way their body reacts. He looks at me again, smirking like a villain who knows too much. Taehyung, half whisper. Sometimes they don't have to say a word. Their face tells you everything. Student fanning herself. Sir, this is so hot. Are you sure? This is just a lecture. Taehyung shrugs, casually unbothered. Taehyung, I told you to take notes, not fall in love. He moves around the class, slowly like he's on a fashion runway. But instead, he is explaining various positions, preferences, and how to maintain mutual respect. Taehyung, it is not just about performance, it is about presence, confidence, making sure your partner feels safe and desired. He looks directly at me. Taehyung, softly. Some people need gentle hands, others want to be ruined. The class is howling. Student, sir, how do you satisfy your Taehyung? Chuckling, that depends. Are you patient enough to learn? Or are you just hoping your does all the work, student? Taehyung, wrong answer. You have got to explore, read their body, figure out if they like kisses on the neck, or whispered words in the ear. He walks toward my side of the class. Slowly, Taehyung, or maybe they melt when you pin them down and say nothing at all. I make the biggest mistake of my life, and look up at him. He is already staring down at me. Taehyung, tilting his head. Am I right, Miss In? In mouth dry. You are so cancelled as the
Taehyung, now homework groans all around. Taehyung, I want a reflection paper from each of you on what you learned today. Yes, even you. Mr. the red-haired boy buries his head in his arms while the class laughs again. Taehyung gathering his notes. That's all for today. Class dismissed, and remember, always wrap it before you tap it. The entire room explodes into laughter as he walks off the stage casually, confidently, and throws me one final look over his shoulder. Taehyung muttering, just loud enough for me to Here, see you at home, Miss YN. We'll see how much you learned today. YNSPOV. The last place I wanted to be after sitting through the most graphic, intense, fully eye contact filled sex education class in history was inside the offender's lair. But of course the universe hates me, because right now I'm walking into Professor Kim Tae-young's office with the headmaster and the secretary flanking me like two royal guards, while my infuriating, impossibly attractive husband sits behind his polished desk legs, crossed, flipping through a book like a scene straight out of a Vogue editorial. He doesn't even look up, of course he doesn't, too busy pretending to be ethereal and unreachable. Headmaster smiling brightly. Mr. Kim, excellent work today. I just came by to personally thank you. The students were very engaged. Secretary trying not to laugh. Oh, very engaged, sir. I fight the urge to kick her ankle. Tae-young finally looking up, smug. Oh, I'm glad I tried my best to make the session memorable. You mean emotionally scarring, you little menace. He smiles at the headmaster, that arrogant, dazzling smile that probably gets people to sign blank checks. Headmaster, I heard it was your first time teaching that subject. You couldn't tell at all. The original speaker got into a domestic scuffle with his wife, broke his nose. Poor man, still in the hospital. Tae-young with a small, almost sarcastic nod. Yes, I had to step in last minute. First time doing something like that professionally. Me muttering, didn't look like it was his first time. Their heads whipped toward me. Crap. Headmaster, pardon me. Quickly, I mean he looked very confident, great stage presence, like he's done similar lectures before. I can feel Tae-young's eyes burning through me. Tae-young with a fake innocent smile. Oh, do tell Mrs. Kim, how confident did I look? I glare at him, mouthing, you're dead. After the headmaster and secretary finally leave, laughing under their breath. The whole time I slam the office door shut behind them and turn to face him. He's already leaning back in his chair, arms behind his head, a perfect blend of Greek god and Korean playboy. Tae-young smirking, didn't look like it was my first time. Me deadpan, you taught an entire room of innocent students how to seduce their partners while making eye contact with your wife. Tae-young, I was being educational. YN, you winked at me while putting on a banana. Tae-young tilting head again, educational. YN huffing, and what was that comment? Some like to be ruined. Are you out of your mind? Tae-young chuckling as he stands and walks toward me slowly. I didn't lie. Oh no. He walks up until he's barely inches away, resting his hands casually on either side of the desk, trapping me. Tae-young softly, don't pretend like you didn't enjoy it. Your face was red the whole time. I could see you squirming in your chair. Ina, I'm going to combust. YN weakly, I was just hot. Tae-young smirking, oh baby, you were. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since I married this chaotic man. We weren't in love, not then. He was my childhood annoyance turned Harvard graduate turned nation's hottest professor. I was the girl who ran her father's company in heels and silence, intimidating interns with a single glance. But fate and our matchmaking parents had other plans, and now I live with a man who walks around shirtless in gray sweats by night. Send help later. That evening at home, we walk into the house, both of us still dressed in our work clothes, him with his rolled up sleeves and smug grin, me in my high heels and leftover frustration. YN throwing my bag on the couch, don't you have shame? Seriously. Tae-young loosening his tie dramatically, I was doing the youth a favor. Would you rather I let them learn from Google? I march into the kitchen to get water, and of course he follows me like a tall, handsome, annoying shadow. Tae-young, you still didn't answer my question earlier. YN, what question? Tae-young leaning against the fridge, how confident did I look on a scale of 1 to you might have fallen in love? I freeze mid-sip. YN, you're impossible. Tae-young, you're blushing again. YN grumbling, it's hot. Tae-young stepping closer, brushing my cheek with his thumb. Then why's your heart racing? My knees betray me. I grab the counter for support. Taeyong teasing wife, are you having inappropriate thoughts about your husband? Yn Taeyong whispers in my ear, I still have that banana. Yn sputtering, you need help Taeyong, help me unbutton my shirt then Taeyong, and kiss me like you did in the morning while I was pretending I mean. While I was sleeping. Yn narrowing her eyes, pretending. Were you pretending to sleep? Taeyong eyes wide, panicking. What? No, I meant I was sleeping deep sleep, like coma level. Taeyong's POV great genius move Taeyong, just tell her you were wide awake and melting inside like a marshmallow. Now she's definitely never going to kiss you again, ever, not even by accident. Yn blushing, turning around quickly. You're unbelievable. Taeyong grinning like an idiot, but you still kissed me, didn't you? And it was magical. Yn grabbing a pillow to throw at him, keep talking and I'll make sure it never happens again. Taeyong laughs, catching the pillow. Too late sweetheart, it's already my favorite memory. Later we're curled up on the couch, me under a blanket and him flipping through channels like he didn't just ruin me emotionally all day. He finally settles on a movie and glances at me. Taeyong, you know, if you're still confused about that lecture, I could give you a private class. Yn, I swear to God. Taeyong laughing, I'll bring props. Visual learning is important. Yn, keep talking and you'll be sleeping outside with the banana. Taeyong grinning like the devil, as long as you come out and eat it with me. Yn staring at him stunned, you seriously have no filter, do you? Taeyong shrugged, casually, only around you, it's your fault, you make me say things I don't even plan. Yn muttering while turning away, you're shameless. Taeyong stepping closer, voice softer, but you like me this way, don't you? Mrs. Kim. Yn POV, ugh, that voice, that tone, that stupid little smirk. Why does my heart act like it's in a drama every time he says my name like that? Taeyong wrapping his arms around from behind, I wasn't pretending just to feel your lips, I was pretending because I didn't know how to ask you for it again. Yn heart pounding, you could just ask. Taeyong leaning down near my ear, okay then kiss me again right now, no pretending, no teasing, just you and me. Taeyong, I'm not teasing this time. Yn Yn, barely audible, I'm sick. You'll catch it. Taeyong, smiling softly, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear, then I'll fall sick with you. We'll cough together in harmony. Yn, snorting through my blush, that's not romantic, that's ridiculous. Taeyong, chuckling, maybe, but I'd still choose your germs over 1,000 kisses from anyone else. My POV, okay. That was cheesy. Super cheesy. But why do I feel like crying and kissing him at the same time? I looked into his eyes, and he wasn't grinning anymore. He was serious. Soft. Sincere. That rare version of Taeyong he hides from everyone except maybe me. Yn, quietly, resting my forehead against his chest, I don't want you to fall sick, idiot. Taeyong, hugging me tighter, then just stay like this. No kiss. No words. And just then, my fingers clutch his shirt, pulling him close, so close that our lips finally meet, like they were always meant to. I feel his smile blooming against my mouth as he melts into the kiss,